Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back with another video on Madden 23, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of an experiment. I think this should be a win, but I'm not going to change the Texans' playbooks, so this could be a loss. Playbooks play a huge factor in the game, and obviously the Texans are not a team that has the greatest playbook luck in the world. This is kind of like I wouldn't say prerequisite, but this is like my intro back into potentially doing more experiments. I was thinking of doing stuff like, the best players on each team in a division go to one team, and then, the winner of the whole thing basically is crowned the best division, if you will. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's say you had the NFC North, you had Jefferson and Rodgers with, Zadarius Smith and, Jameson Williams, whatever. You get the point. Stuff like that, or an experiment of what's more important, a 99 overall tight end or a wide receiver, that kind of stuff, running back, maybe a three-way, whatever it is. If you guys would be interested in seeing more content like that, which I used to do a ton of, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support. Maybe check out the second channel, Pierre Plays, where we've been playing some Hogwarts Legacy. It's been fun. As far as what I did with the positions that didn't have a full set of players on the roster, I went to the lowest overall players in free agency and signed them up. Of course, luckily for us, you would think, a lot of teams' physical best player, technically a quarterback, but this is the best overall player. So the highest overall player of the Bengals was Joe Burrow, and no other team's highest overall was a quarterback, believe it or not. A couple of close calls, but you look at the Chiefs, Mahomes is a 98, Kelsey's a 99. Kind of spoiled that one, but that's, basically where we're at. Running back, only one team, Derrick Henry. Big shocker there. No team. If Kyle Juszczyk was still on the Jaguars, he would actually be pretty close, but he's not. So Paul Quessenberry, 59 overall is the guy. Now, wide receiver, as you can see, a lot of guys here. Tyreek Hill, number 1 for the Dolphins. Devontae, number 1 for the Raiders. Diggs, number 1 for the Bills. Number 1 for the Vikings. Number 1 for the Cardinals, Commanders, and Seahawks. Looking at tight end, number 1s for the Chiefs and Ravens for their respective teams. Left tackles, Tunsil, obviously, for the Texans. Trent Williams for the Niners. Obviously, you guys kind of know the gist here. A lot of offensive linemen, believe it or not, which, that's not the biggest surprise, I suppose, but Brian Burns, highest for the Panthers. Garrett and Donald, highest for their teams. Big shocker there. DTs, big come-ups for these two guys, and they're the ones representing the defensive tackles, which is kind of cool, right? Like, those guys actually both had a crazy season this year, and here they are. TJ Watt, obviously, not really a coverage linebacker, but he's playing left outside linebacker. We'll see how that plays out. Highest overall in the Steelers, obviously. Derwin James, technically a safety, but he is a big dude that plays in the box a lot, so I think we can deal with that, right? Like, he plays all over the field, in fairness. We could have played him at cornerback if we wanted to, but need a linebacker, put him at middle linebacker. Judon's at right outside linebacker. He's also faster than I would have thought. 85 speed is actually pretty fast for Judon. I didn't think he would be that fast. Corners, only 2 of them. Jair and Lattimore, with the rest being, put with a bunch of bad players. Justin Simmons, the highest for the Broncos. Eddie Jackson is the highest for the Bears. No strong safety, but I do have Eddie Jackson playing strong safety. And then there was no kicker or punter that was the highest on their teams, so these 2 low overalls get the job done. As far as what the actual rosters look like, on one screen, a lot of red. There's a lot of red going on, a lot of red and yellow. And yeah, how the hell are these 2? I guess technically they're not superstar if you want to count it. Like, it took them a little bit to get there, but I'd give them superstar. Come on, what are we doing here? But this is the team. Let's see if they can win a Super Bowl, and if they can't, EA's got to do something with those playbooks, because this should be, literally an undefeated run all the way through. I don't know how the season ended, but I can tell you mid-season we had 2 losses, and you can see here, 14-3. How the hell did we lose 3 games? And, of course, we traded Davis Mills off to another team. Obviously, he's the passing leader. Obviously. Lost to the Broncos. Really? That's who we lost to. Oh, my Lord. This damn scheme, dude. Then the Eagles, fair enough. They are still a really good team. We only took their tackle, which means a great tackle, but fair enough. And then the Chiefs. Mahomes seems to just be great no matter who's around him. But without Travis Kelce, that whole weapons argument is down the drain, right? Like, without Kelce, it's like, okay, those weapons aren't that great. But with Kelce, it's like, yeah, you could easily get it done. But let's take a look at the numbers. Obviously, a weird one, as we expected to do better than this. Burrow was okay, but with the weapons he has, he should have put up like 100 touchdowns. Derrick Henry was pretty solid, 20 touchdowns in fairness. Devontae was good. Tyreek was good. Travis Kelce, I didn't even think about it, but these guys are back together. Some of the numbers are a little off because, they were traded at different times. That looks so ugly, but obviously, not a whole lot of depth here. It's like they used 3 guys mainly. Diggs got a little bit, and then that was it. That was basically it. Actually, that's a good one. This offensive line better not give up those crazy numbers. Okay, fair enough. You had 2 guys that didn't even give up any sacks. And then you had, obviously, a combined 12 outside of that. Only 1 guy had over 100 tackles. That's Derwin James. Sack total, really? With this squad. So, you cannot tell me EA doesn't have predetermined, schemes and teams that because they're expected to do badly in real life, that they don't get the sim luck. You can't tell me that. These numbers are abysmal. Myles Garrett on his own should put up those numbers, let alone with Donald, Quentin Williams, Dexter Lawrence, the best backup group you've ever seen. What are these numbers? I don't understand what I'm looking at here. Why are they so bad? These should be so much better than that. They're all on the same team. Of course, yearly awards not going to freaking matter because, who cares? Devontae Adams. So we had, 2 awards? Love it. And who's the last? Oh, yeah, the last hurrah is Trent Williams, isn't it? And I'm going to go into each of these games because I have a feeling, I don't know if it can be proven, but when you actually go into the games, it feels like the RNG, which is ironic because the stadium is NRG, and if you mix the letters around, it actually doesn't go as crazy, but that could just be me being stupid. We get a touchdown, but the Broncos are doing so much better than they should. Sure, we have some defenders, especially, in the linebacker front that aren't really built to play where they're at, but, really? How are we not putting up 50 points per game minimum? Thank you. I like to see it. About damn time we see some offense. Also, we didn't even have a bye week. We weren't even the best team. Yet we had literally the best team. Joe Burrow with 7 touchdowns, though. Are what's going on? And then Devontae had a bunch of rushing touchdowns or rushing yards. I have injuries off. Where the hell did Henry? Hello? What's even happening? I don't even know what's going on anymore. Injuries are off, yet Derrick Henry just decided not to show up. Our opponent is the Houston Texans. Was it actually the Chiefs, like usual? The Ravens went 17. You can't make this stuff up, dude. Who do they have at quarterback? Is it Davis Mills? There's no way the Ravens are undefeated in the same universe, same conference as us. And the quarterback isn't Davis Mills. The Bengals quarterback is. How? How is this even possible? Undefeated for the Ravens. I could probably sim 100 times in a row without these wrong. Well, without, whatever. And that wouldn't happen. I don't know what's going on, but as long as it results in us winning the Super Bowl, I'm okay, I guess. Although part of me thinks it would be even better if we didn't win the Super Bowl with this team. All right, finally a little bit of a cleaner win, but that first quarter really wasn't looking like that. I say that, and for a moment there, it looks like they were about to choke it, but this team will be headed to the AFC Championship round. I almost said the ambulance, which... that'll be me if we don't win the Super Bowl with, the best team ever assembled. Of course, a lot of interceptions for Allen, some of the highest interceptions numbers I've ever seen, but he also put up some of the highest yards numbers I've ever seen. Joe Burrow with how many touchdowns now? 13 touchdowns in 2 games. All right, also Derrick Henry deciding not to show up again, or we've just decided, hey, let's not run it. I don't know what's going on, but whatever results in a win is good by me, I guess. A lot of sack totals, some interceptions on top of it. And the Chiefs are 9-8, so no Travis Kelce. Still leads to a Mahomes and Chiefs playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl run, but it gives them only 9 wins. EA's doing the thing. EA's doing the thing where they want the Chiefs to just win every Super Bowl. They're doing it. 21-14. And our defense is actually doing a lot better than I expected. Once again, I don't understand how it is, but the Chiefs' defense is actually pretty damn good in Sim. I know 38 points seems like a lot, but for this team and the way their offense is playing, not really. Joe Burrow now extending his touchdowns to 17 in the postseason. He's got half of what like a normal like quarterback's best season would be. Of course, Travis Kelce had himself a day. Sack total is actually low for us for once. Interceptions, as usual, the high, though. Was that Aaron Donald? It was not. Okay. I thought he had a pick. And it's the Niners, who we took Trent Williams off of. All right, going to the end of the game, 7-0, 14-0. The Niners kind of getting smoked on early on in this one, 21-0. And finally, we see a performance that is, kind of reminiscent of what this team should be. 45-0. Finally, the Niners put up some points, but this has been a smoke show. 54-10, and the best team ever assembled has won themselves a Super Bowl. Ironically enough, we didn't see the Ravens, who were 17-0. I actually kind of want to see. Oh, Burrow's wearing 14. That is super great. Like I can't, dude. I can't. The numbers we have here, I can't look at them. We're just going to accept that we won, and that's it. Brock Purdy had nothing to show for. So we had Joe Burrow threw for 24 touchdowns in the playoffs and put up nearly 600 yards in this game. This man just like had the greatest playoff performance ever, the playoff series performances ever, and it just won't even be close to touched. Like it won't even ever be touched. Like, it's literally impossible. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what happened to the Ravens. Obviously, they wouldn't have had the wild card round. They lost the first game. Wow, talk about a choke job. Lamar Jackson was held to under 100 yards, and he had only 7 completions with 10 attempts. John would be fired. He would be gone. Like, they just didn't throw. I mean, they threw, but not the throwing that you and me would have expected. But that is going to be it. I kind of want to see, just because I'm kind of a Trent Williams follower in the game, I kind of want to see if he retired, just for the hell of it. Usually if you skip the last hurrah, it's okay. He decides to stick around for another year. But let's see if any of these top players at their positions on each team, yeah, he went. Okay, so strangely enough, we've had it, like the Niners rebuild. I kid you not, I didn't cheat. I didn't change any ages or anything like that. What was it, a Niners rebuild, or was it a... No, it was a fantasy draft. The Niners rebuild, I actually did cheat and change his age. But whatever the last time I had Trent Williams was, I didn't cheat. I didn't change his overall. I didn't change his dev. I didn't change his age. Didn't do anything. Didn't change his position. None of that. And he stuck around for like, what, 4? I think that was the whole rebuild, like 4 years or something like that. But here he goes at the first season, which is like so hit or miss. Like, imagine going from like, you have the best left tackle, one of the best linemen for like 4 seasons in the game, or you'll lose him the first year. Like, so hit or miss. But that's going to be it. If you guys have any suggestions for experiments or, kind of myths that you want busted or some sort of, challenge like that or whatever, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be willing to do it if I think it's good. I do want to do like another kind of fantasy draft challenge video. Don't know if I'll do it, as our next rebuild, but maybe. Of course, Seahawks franchise a little bit later today, which is a great one. And I don't know if it's going to be a rebuild tomorrow or a Steelers franchise. We'll see. But that's about it from me. Hopefully you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya!